Hey everybody, ladies and gentlemen, this is Brian Boyle and welcome to episode 43 of The Mesh Tongue. And today is Sunday, so for all you non-football fans that kind of don't like watching football, well, you're in luck because there's no more football, and you get your family back, or you can get more time out running, whatever the case may be. But hopefully you got some big plans for this day. And I appreciate all the questions, the comments, all the love that you're giving me by sharing this. And this one today comes in from Lee in Texas. And Lee sent me an email and wanted to know about some hamstring stuff. So I figured what I would do is I would highlight a protocol that was developed by a biomechanics professor and the head of the biomechanics department up at the University of Wisconsin. His name is Bryan Heiderscheit. He's a physical therapist as well. This was in conjunction with some stuff that he'd been working on with some other groups. And then there's some protocol that comes in from Stuart McGill and some of the research he's done up in Canada. And so today what I want to talk to you about is hamstrings, and this would be after you've had an injury. So say you've had an injury to the hamstring, it can be anywhere between 3 and 23 months after your injury that you can still see some issues with this hamstring. Hamstrings are a bugger, that is for absolute certainty. If you've never had a hamstring injury, I hope you don't, because they are absolutely horrible to deal with. And if you are dealing with one now, hopefully this will help. So this is phase 1. So there's typically about 3 phases in hamstring recovery. I'm going to go over phase 1 today. If you've got questions, again, email me. This isn't an exact science. It's not. I mean, medicine, it is what it is. You get what you get with medicine, but it's better than nothing. All right. So when you think about this, and when you think about how you go through this protocol, you could advance through this protocol much faster than, say, the next person. But the goal is pain-free, or at least minimal pain when you're going through this. Okay, so there may not be an exact, like, oh, this is going to take you 3 weeks or 4 weeks to get through. Okay, some of the things you're going to look for is pain-free walking, pain-free resisted knee flexion. So if you're bending your knee and you're given about 50 to 75% of maximal contraction, this should be pain-free to advance to phase 2. And I'll go over phase 2 in probably the next video, probably tomorrow. But today, phase 1, you're going to start off on the bike. So start off on the bike 10 minutes. The reason you're going to start off on the bike is that you want to make sure that you're warmed up a little bit. But the nice thing about the bike, low impact, it shouldn't bother the hamstring. If it does, well, then maybe you need to back off and by all means, any of these, get checked out. Okay, don't just do this stuff at home. This is more or less that you're going to see somebody who's already been diagnosed. Maybe you've re-injured after you've previously gone through rehab. So don't take these things really lightly. You're going to want to ice 2 to 3 times a day. Okay, and the goal is protecting the hamstring at this point. Okay, so without further ado, so after you get done on the bike, the next thing you're going to do, I'm just going to tilt this down just a little bit. Okay, next thing you do is we're going to do some side steps. Okay, so again, think about good form. We get down in this ready position. I got my knees, okay, over the toes, and boy, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen very often. But hey, it is what it is. So I guess we've got ghosts down in the basement here. Who knows? There we go. Technical difficulties. So again, you're going to sidestep, think about good form. Okay, we're going to go side, over. You're going to do about 20 feet. Okay, and you can do 3 by 1 minute of these. So good form, you're not overstriding, you're not too stretching, you're not trying to take these gigantic steps. Okay, avoid the gigantic. Okay, kind of stay within probably about your shoulder width. Okay, going back and forth. The next one is called Grapevine, okay, or karaoke. Goal with this, Again, just keeping those toes pointed straight forward. You don't want to have your toes kind of crossing over. All right, you want to go toes straight forward. Nice and easy. Again, about 20 feet, and then go back and forth. For the sake of argument here, I'm just going to go in a small room setting. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some fast feet. Okay, so it's just going to be fast feet. Get the arms moving. Okay, very small. I'm not trying to go really big. Okay, again, the reason being is that we're protecting the hamstring, but we're trying to get the feet moving, get the arms moving, so opposite arm, opposite leg. So we're going straight forward, straight back. Okay. Next thing we want to do is we want to head into a prone plank. All right. So again, we're going to get down in plank position. Tighten the tummy, tighten the rear end. You're going to come up into plank position. You're going to hold that position. We're going to do 5 of these. We're going to hold for 10 seconds. Okay, it's important. So too many people get into plank position and they're doing it for 30 seconds to a minute. They're struggling. Okay, see their body shaking. 5 times 10 seconds. That's it. Okay, hold that 10 seconds. Relax. 10 seconds. Relax. Okay, should be just long enough. Get the core. This was stuff that came out of Stuart McGill and his group doing the research that showed that this was a perfect way to kind of build core stability without overextending oneself. Okay, so don't go and be a hero trying to say, oh, I'm going to do 30 seconds to a minute and lose form. Doesn't matter. 5 times 10 seconds. Side plank, same thing. Okay, make sure that we've got the hip nice and steady. All right, we can bring the arm up. Goal is to keep both shoulders in line. Okay, don't be sagging. Come up to here. You can do both sides. 5 times 10 seconds. Again, next thing we do is bend the knees. Okay, you can come up either to outstretched hand here. Okay, or you can still stay on elbow. Right. The goal is, again, perfect alignment. 5 times 10 seconds. All right. Then you just flip over. Do the opposite side. And then last but not least, is a single leg stand. Okay, so you're going to just stand on one leg. We're going to hold this basically about 10 to 15 seconds. Okay. Again, you can do that, switch to the opposite leg probably about 5 times. You'll progress from eyes open to eyes closed. You can do that on a balance pad if you wanted to, as long as it's pain-free. But the goal is, again, you want to make sure that the progression goes from painless, okay, to with walking and painless with knee-resisted isometric contraction, 50 to 75%, to the next phase, which again doesn't have you back running just yet. And this is for probably those really, really extreme injuries. It's going to depend on where in the hamstring that the tear is. If it's really high, kind of up in the rear end cheek there, all right, those are the buggers. Those are really, really bad. If it's more mid-muscle belly, okay, again, not great, but still not as bad as that intertendinous junction area up there, up at the rear end. So hopefully you get some value from this. Wanted to go through this really quick. Like I said, next video I'll show you phase 2, and then we'll get into phase 3, kind of returning back to running. But hopefully you find some value. Hopefully this helps. Let me know. Again, thanks Lee for writing in and giving this question. I hope that you find some value from this, and don't go hurting yourself to come back. But have a fantastic Sunday afternoon, and we'll see you again. We'll see you again next week. Next week, goodness gracious, Monday, I guess. But we'll see you again tomorrow. All right, take care. Hey, it's me again. I'm back. I forgot I wanted to add one more exercise to this. So we're gonna do a supine bridge. Okay, so you're gonna get down, bent knees, and lay down on your back. All right, get everything set here. What you're gonna do, again, this is an exercise I showed you in some previous videos. Okay, for the hip flexor. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift up, you're gonna squeeze the rear end, and you're push up from the bottom, not lifting with the hip flexors. Okay, coming back down. Again, you're gonna come up, hold, back down. So think about going 1, 2, up, 1, 2, down, 1, 2, up, 1, 2, down. So you set a timer for a minute. You'll do 3 by 1 minute of that. So I forgot that in that video and didn't want to kind of go in and edit. So hopefully you got some value from this thing. Episode 43, the mesh tongue. It's all about the hamstring. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye.